hello, and welcome, guys. Welcome to a powerful call. Let me know that you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up that you guys can hear me, or a little wave. Amazing. Bomba, bomba, bomba. Very cool. And you can type it on the chat, guys, where you're tuning in from. We're literally getting ready to rock and roll. I hope that for your sake, you have got a thick notepad ready to take some notes. Because I'm telling you that the next half an hour, 40 minutes, as long as this guy wants to keep talking, I'm going to be the first person to be taking a bunch of notes. So welcome, France in the house, UK in the house, Austria, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland. Man, I feel like I could just travel just watching the Zoom. Romania in the house, Buna. Awesome. All right, now we also have translation in multiple languages, guys. So if you could just type it on the chat. Let me have a look here in terms of translation. So Lithuanian is under Russian. Portuguese is under Portuguese. Hungarian is under Chinese. And Romanian is under French. So I believe we've covered all translation here. So that's all the translation happening. Awesome. And we're ready to rock and roll. So if we haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Efrosini Adamides. I get the pleasure to be your host tonight. And just before we get started, guys, here's one thing that I'm going to highly recommend to all of you guys. These devices are amazing. They can make you a bunch of money. They can also be the biggest distraction. Over the next few minutes, you want to be 100% present, because sometimes it just takes one moment to hear one sentence that can give you a breakthrough in your business, and that moment can be your defining moment. And it would be such a shame to get one of those defining moments where you hear a golden nugget from this gentleman I'm going to introduce, and all of a sudden you get a notification and you're distracted for that split second, and during that split second you lose your moment. So put these devices on flight mode, put them on silent, whatever you need to do to be 100% focused for this gentleman that I'm going to bring up. Now, to give you a little bit of a background, I've heard about this gentleman firstly from my mentor, Mark Aceta. And guys, when Mark Aceta says this is one of the best networkers he's come across, when someone like Mark, who's got experience of over 35 years in the industry, says those words, that's words that you don't take lightly. And I've been hearing his name around the industry. This gentleman has been around the network marketing profession for over 20 years now. He's got a background in the military, and then he went on and joined a company that he was a part of for 11 years selling legal services. And then this company went through certain changes. So he went on to co-found a company that he was a part of for years. And in this company he co-founded, to give you an idea, guys, at some point his team was generating $400 million in sales a year. Just listen to how crazy that sounds. Like his team generated $400 million in sales a year. So he's gone on to make millions in the industry. But I'll tell you, what I like about this guy is that he's very, very humble. I just had the pleasure of connecting with him, and I'm really enjoying and looking forward to getting to know him even more. He's so humble, loves to talk about systems, because I think this is one of the keys to building a gigantic business. And even though we're not even connected in any sort of way, he's offered his time to jump on a call in order to serve us. So guys, like I said, get rid of the distractions. I'm going to be the first one to be taking a bunch of notes, and let's all learn together from Blue Diamond, Mark Smith. Mark, over to you, my friend.
All right, I appreciate that, Efrosini, and I'm going to start off by just thanking you for inviting me on the call today. And I told Efrosini earlier, the first question I had is how do you pronounce your name? Because it's the coolest name out there. I have the boringest name known to the planet, Mark Smith. I get everybody's mail but my own here in America. It's probably the most common name you can have. So you have the coolest name ever, but I appreciate you inviting us on here. I actually, we had a great conversation before today's call about where is Cyprus. I had to break out a map. I'm fully schooled up on my geography now, and I want to come and visit, right? And so we'll figure that out. But I'm here in Southern California. And so what I want to do is I'm at my home office here today. I want to talk a little bit. I'm going to share a little bit of my story with everyone. I know we probably have two types of groups on here. We have maybe three types of groups. We have professional networkers, someone that's probably been in network marketing 5 to 10 to 20 or 30 years. And then we probably have folks that have tried network marketing. And then we have folks that have never tried network marketing before. And maybe this is your first go at it, or maybe the first time that you're really going to, put your all to it. And so I think it's always important to try to relate to the speaker. But also I think whatever group you're in, I think you can probably take something from my story. And so just give you the quick Dun & Bradstreet, and then we'll get into a little bit of training. The first thing is, I got started in network marketing 20 years ago. At that point, it was in the U.S. military. I actually grew up in a pretty strict household. My dad was in the military. I lived behind a Navy base in Boston, Massachusetts, my whole life. My wife is actually Korean. Her dad she's half Korean. Her dad was also in the military for 25 years. So both Tammy and I grew up in that strict military household. And I bring that, I share that part of my story because I believe it has a lot to do with our success in network marketing, because when you grow up in a military household, you're taught discipline at a much younger age. You're taught systems. I think your parents train you, not that they're trying to make you go in the military, but I think your parents, if they're in the military, they automatically, organically have these leadership traits that that is instilled in them, that they instill in their kids. And so I'm really thankful for that upbringing. And for both Tammy and I growing up in military families, it gave us that advantage of understanding, having intestinal fortitude, never quit. It's okay to fail. Just don't stop, get up the next day and go for it. We definitely had that upbringing of read as many books as you possibly can about the subject matter that you want to be an expert in. I'm just giving you some of the things I've learned growing up. Definitely don't listen to your neighbors if they don't care about what you want to become in life. One of those things, you probably have heard it. You are the combination of the 5 closest associations you have. So I grew up in a pretty rough area in the United States. For those of you that are not from the U.S., some of the cities you see in the news, I grew up in some of those cities where it was pretty rough when I was younger. So you had to make sure that for me growing up, my parents wanted me to leave that city. They wanted me to go to college, get good grades, get a good job, and go to a safer part of America, or a safer part of the world for that matter. And so I, of course, fell in my dad's footsteps and joined the military. And I got stationed in, I was actually a combat medic with the Marines, and I got stationed in Hawaii. So that's not that bad of a deal, Efrosini, right? So being in Hawaii, no one has to feel bad for my career. It was absolutely amazing. Hawaii is my favorite place in the entire world. I actually have a house there that I'll talk about in just a little bit. But I got stationed in Hawaii. That was my base. And then I'd go from Hawaii to the Far East. That was my kind of theater of operation. And that's actually where I met my wife. I met my wife on spring break. That's the college break here in America. So here's a free tip. Don't let your daughter go to spring break in Hawaii. She'll meet a crazy US military guy and they may get married, right? Well, I'm paying the price today because now my daughter goes to college in Hawaii. So I'm waiting for that phone call. And I always tell her, stay away from military guys. And she always reminds me, like, why? You were a military guy and you met mom. I'm like, well, that's different, right? We're kind of funny like that as parents. But for Tammy and I, we just had a unique experience. I didn't come from money. I grew up in probably a poor area in America, in East Boston. Both my parents always had at least 2 jobs. Many times I can remember them having 3 jobs. So definitely grew up in a household with a lot of work ethic. Never went without. Okay, never went without food or anything like that. But that's about the only thing I didn't go with. Wasn't homeless, didn't go without food, but we definitely didn't have money. And so as a young kid, I always desired to make it in life, something big, right? I don't think I thought about being a millionaire. I didn't understand. I didn't know anyone that was a millionaire. When you grew up in a poorer area, you don't necessarily know millionaires, right? So your version of a millionaire was like, wow, if I could make $75,000 a year US, I'd be rich. Now where I live in Southern California, that you're broke if you make $75,000. It's so expensive to live here. But I always wanted to own my own home. I never grew up in a home that we owned. In different countries around the world, most people, or in some countries, you don't necessarily own your own home. In America, it's probably the biggest part of the American dream is to own your own home. And so that was my number one goal. Like, I didn't care what it looked like. It could be a hut. It could be a tent. It could be a palapa. It could be a kubu hut like in the Philippines. I didn't care as long as it was mine and I could say that I owned it and I opened that door and it was my house. That was one of my biggest dreams ever. And so, once I joined the military, you get a wake-up call, right? You get to see the world. You get incredible leadership training. You have an incredible mindset of no excuses. For some of you, you live in different parts of the world that most Americans have never traveled to. So for me, joining the military and going around the world and seeing outside of America, and going to even some third world countries where, there's not running water, there's not electricity, and experiencing that, it fuels you even more, right? So you come back to America and you try to figure out, how do I become an entrepreneur? And, look at the opportunities that we have in America. So I really took that serious, and I didn't know about network marketing. I had never heard of network marketing. It's kind of funny because when I was in the military, I was actually stationed in Okinawa, Japan, on an island, kind of this ready team if something happened in that area of the world. And someone sold me Herbalife once, and I was taking Herbalife shakes. I wish they pitched me on network marketing. Just a lesson in my story is I would have joined as fast as they said Herbalife. Okay. Because when I found out later on that guy was able to make extra money while we were in the military, while we were in a foreign country, by selling me that protein shake, I thought that was the best idea since sliced bread. I had never heard of the concept. Right. And so lo and behold, went through my military career, still struggled financially. You don't make a lot of money in the military. And my wife and I got married at a young age, had our first child she was at a lot younger age than me, I guess. I'm 47 now. And, we struggled as a newly married couple. We had $40,000 in credit card debt on a fixed income in the military. And we got stationed. I went to cardiovascular school in the Navy. And so we got stationed at this hospital, and we struggling paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. I mean, it was, we used to have a joke. We would say we had a whole bunch of bills waiting for the money to come in. And our mindset was, someday in our life, could we have a whole bunch of money waiting for the bills to come in? But that wasn't that part of our life at that point. And we would really struggle. We'd ask the landlord, can you give us a break? We're late 1 month on rent. It was a real struggle. It's kind of funny when you go through a struggle, you don't want to talk. When you finally get through the struggle, you don't want to talk about it for about 10 years. So you guys you're getting fresh information. Okay. Now I laugh about it. You don't laugh about it when you're going through it. But I want you to know that when you get on a training like this, especially for those of you that are new, and you're going to go to Accelerate this weekend, I want you to know that, unfortunately, by the time you see someone cross the stage, and by the time you see someone on a training like this, or you hear all these accolades and everything, unfortunately, all the hard work has already been done. And so it can be distracting sometimes, right? Because you hear these accolades and this beautiful dream lifestyle and, the beautiful home with the white picket fence and the perfect family. That's only on reality TV, by the way, and social media. That's not real life. Okay. Everybody has challenges. Money doesn't make challenges go away. It allows life to be a lot funner. I can tell you that, but you still have a life. You still have to be a husband, a wife, a parent, a member of your community, and you're still going to get a flat tire every once in a while. And you're still going to have challenges in life. Right. But I can just tell you, just going through this process and going through that struggle, we bumped into a total stranger that pitched us on network marketing. Okay. And that's how we got into network marketing 20 years ago. I thought it was an absolutely incredible idea. I had no idea it would be full-time. I wanted to stay in the military. I actually loved my military career. I didn't love the money, but I loved the service to country, and I loved the camaraderie of a team, and esprit de corps, and all the things that you have in network marketing that you make more money for, right? Efrosini, that's the one thing I realized. I'm like, wow, the network marketing is just like the military, only they pay you a lot more money, and you don't really have a boss, and no one yells at you. And actually, you don't have to go out and run 50 miles if you don't want to. So it's pretty cool, right? And so we had our first go at network marketing. And we were in that first company for 11 years. The first year, for those of you that are new, it was survival. I mean, just think about it. If you were going to pick any new career, like you were going to be a real estate agent, or you wanted to be a dentist, or you were going to take up a trade, like be a carpenter, if you were a new carpenter, what would your first table look like? Probably wouldn't stand up on 4 legs, right? You probably don't know how to use the saw yet. If you're just getting into real estate, you probably would have a lot of questions on how to fill out the paperwork. You probably would mess it up a little bit, and you probably would be nervous to talk to your first potential client or prospect, right? And so, that first year for us was really the survival year, like trying to figure out a new business. So if you're new, just understand, if you're nervous and you're new and you're trying to figure it out, and even if it's not going right for you right now, guess what? You're normal, okay? You're normal. If that's how it works for everybody, okay? Don't get discouraged by that, because some people will use that as that one way to get out of the business, where it's important to have trainings like this to understand, like, no, it's totally normal. Because I thought I was a failure the first month in network marketing. As a matter of fact, I didn't make my first sale for my first 3 months in network marketing. It was 90 days. I sold insurance in network marketing, and it was like a legal insurance. I know that don't have that in a lot of countries. It's primarily here in North America. And when you get a speeding ticket here in America, you can actually bring an attorney to court to try to beat the speeding ticket. And so I tried to sell it to all my friends. I was so horrible at being in sales that I didn't get a sale for 3 months. Finally, my wife felt so bad. She called her dad and begged her dad to just buy one of these plans from us, kind of like a sympathy sale. And then, guys, you know how it works. You can't let your wife one-up you like that, because you'll never hear the end of it. So I begged my mom. I said, just give me your credit card number. I'll tell you what you bought later. I just need this favor. And that is literally the first 2 sales that me and my wife made in network marketing. So I'm not telling you it needs to take 3 months, but we didn't listen at first, right? We tried to do it our way. We didn't want to use tools. What's a 3-way call? Why do I have to bring in an expert, or why do I have to introduce them to my upline? All these things you learn in network marketing. So I kind of went against the grain. But once I realized, like, wow, this is not too different than what I experienced in the military, where there's a system, right? There's a blueprint. And people that have come before us, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, even 100 years. This industry's been around over 100 years. And that knowledge has been passed down through leader, through company, even right on the Zoom here today. I'm just speaking knowledge that I learned over decades from people that learned it over decades of their career. So why not listen to the people that have come before us that have already made all the mistakes? I have a joke. I wrote a book a long time ago on achievement. Okay. And it's funny because people write books about like how to be successful and how to do this and how to do that. Probably the best book we could all ever buy would be someone that's hugely successful that wrote a book about only the failures they had. Right? Because wouldn't that be a more valuable book if you could take someone that's super successful, because there's only probably a half a dozen or a dozen things that they needed to get right to be successful, but there was hundreds of things that they went through, that they failed at, that they learned lessons from. So probably the most valuable book we could buy is, go find one of the most successful people you look up to and say, hey, could you just give me your notepad of all the failures and all the dumb things you did, right? And so when I finally realized that the people I was learning from in these trainings, that they were teaching me only what works. They weren't teaching me what doesn't work. They would only teach me what works. And I know that sounds like common sense, but when I figured that out, we really started to get traction in the business. But we went through that struggle for the first year to figure out network marketing. Second year was definitely much better. And in our third year, we were making what I would consider, more full-time income. And we were catching up on our debt, and we ended up making, many millions in that company. I tell you at the end of the story, that part, because you got to know the beginning of the story. It's really not where we started. And our journey just kind of took us from there. And what I want to do is, and I'm not here to brag to you about what's happened for Tammy and I, but I do want to share the struggle and to know that there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That is true, okay? But you have to be willing to go over the rainbow. You have to be willing to kind of go on the journey, right? You have to be willing to make mistakes and to fall back and get back up. And you have to be coachable because this is a different industry. I'm a combat medic. I know everything there is about emergency medicine, okay? But that took me 10 years of learning that. I promise you, I could save your life. Okay. I promise you that much, within reason. But if I brought a new person on here today and I only spent an hour with them about emergency medicine, you probably wouldn't want that person operating on you, right? You probably wouldn't want that. Okay. You want that knowledge. You want someone that has experience. And so I think it's important to share both ends of the story, that it does take time and it does, take experience. But what I love about network marketing is you can earn while you learn. Okay. It's the best way to go out there and do this because, most people, we go to college. I went to college and you pay to go to college. And I'm not saying not to go to college. Both my children, my daughter goes to college, my son's about to, but you pay to go to college, to sit in a university for 4 years, to then leave the college, to then go work in that career field, right? So you don't make any money doing that. Where else in the world can you go where you're going to go through a learning journey and you're going to get paid all the way through the learning journey, even if you make mistakes and mess up, right? So it's really an earn while you learn. So kind of embrace that. And in the last part of our story I want to share with you is this. So my life is very, very different today, but I want to let you know that I want to insulate you. Okay. I want to inoculate you if you're new and you're just doing this for the first time. And this is not just for network marketing. And this is not just here today on this team call. And it's not just for your success in Seacret. This is really life. Okay. I was very fortunate to have incredible mentors in the military. We called it a bulletproof vest. They would put a bulletproof vest on you, but not a real vest that you're thinking. It was what they instilled in you to not allow things to take you down easily. Right. And so when I left high school in the US and I wanted to go to college, a lot of my friends didn't go to college. I had a strict dad. He basically said, you're going to go to college. Like, okay, I'll go to college. Okay. And almost all my friends mocked me. Oh, that's so stupid. We're going to leave high school. We're going to party. We're going to get a job right away and we're going to make money and you're going to be in college. And man, you ain't going to make it in college. You didn't even get good grades in high school. And what a dumb decision. Okay. So just watch this journey. So I went to college. I didn't like college. I'm not a good student. I'm not a book person. I'm not good at just sitting in a classroom. I'm not a good test taker. I wish the teacher would just ask me the questions. I can answer the questions, but I'm just not a good test taker. Everybody's wired differently, right? And so, after about 2 years of college, it just really wasn't for me. And so I dropped out of college. And those same friends that said, oh, it's a stupid idea for you to go to college and you're not going to make it, they made fun of me that I was quitting college. Oh my goodness, we were so proud of you. You went to college. Look at us. We don't have a college degree and we're not making the kind of money we want to make because we didn't go to college. And, you were the one in the friend group that went to college and you're making the worst decision of your life, leaving university. What are you doing? So think about it. Same friends that told me not to do it are telling me that I should stay there. Okay. So I dropped out of college. I became a roofer, right? Probably one of the hardest jobs you can have, especially in our climate. In Boston, because in the summer it's 110 degrees and it's miserable and you're up on top of a roof with, hot products and steam and you're roofing. And then in the winter it's snowing, it's icy, it's freezing. And it's gotta be one of the worst jobs and hardest jobs ever. And so I became a roofer. And so once I became a roofer, some of those same friends are like, oh man, this is cool. We get to hang out again. And I made pretty good money as a roofer. It's a pretty hard job. You do get paid pretty well. And, I just realized my life wasn't going anywhere. And my dad one day said, hey, you know what, Mark, you should join the military or you should join the military. Which one's it going to be? Now, my dad's about 6'8", about 280 pounds, is as big as a Navy ship. And so I took my dad's advice. He said, I can join the Navy. I can join the Navy. I said, Dad, you know what? I've always wanted to join the Navy. And that's literally how the conversation went. And so I joined the Navy. My same friends that told me I was stupid for going to university, that I wouldn't make it, that told me I was stupid to quit university, that it was the best decision I made, who then said, oh, this is awesome that you're a roofer. We can all hang out now and we can party. were the same friends that said, I can't believe you're going to join the military. What a dumb decision. Why would you do that? You're not going to make it. You're not disciplined enough. You're not smart enough. I mean, it's not for you, right? Same friends. So I went and had a hugely successful career in the military. I spent over 10 years there. I got an incredible education. I traveled the world. I met my wife. I went to cardiovascular cath lab school, paid for by the Navy. And then I bumped into this person, like I talked to you about a little earlier, that introduced me to network marketing. So I joined network marketing, and I make a decision after about 15 months or so that I'm going to go full-time network marketing, okay? Now, that was probably too soon, so I don't want anyone to ever go full-time too soon, okay? And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I went full-time too soon. I just wasn't making enough money yet. It was a dumb decision, but I made the decision, and I had to live with it, and I burnt my bridges and my boats and everything, and I kind of went for it. The same friends that told me the military was not for me, told me it was a dumb decision, mocked me so bad about network marketing. Oh my gosh, you're in the Navy. We're so proud of you. You know, you're a medic. You're going to cardiovascular school. Why would you do this to your family? You're going to leave the military. Why would you do such a dumb thing? And you're going to do what? Network marketing. Isn't that one of those things? I mean, that's not even a real business, is it? Same friends. Okay. What do you think those same friends are saying today? And I'm not making fun of my friends. I have a dream lifestyle today. Right now I'm in my home here in California. This is actually my neighbor's house that I bought. I actually live next door. I bought this house, tore down the wall between the two houses, and made this entire house kind of like a network marketing office, dream center. I got a gym, a commercial kitchen. This used to be a dining room and a living room. Now I do Zooms from it. I've got bedrooms upstairs for team members to come over. I've got fruit trees everywhere. I've got a dream home in Hawaii on the water, right where I was stationed. I dreamed about having a house on this beach for my entire time being in the military there. And what do you know? Today I have a house on that beach, okay? What do you think the same friends are saying to me today? Man, best decision you ever made in your life was joining network marketing. We always knew you could make it. I mean, you were born for network marketing. What's the lesson in this story? Who cares what they say? Right? Who cares what they say? They call them naysayers for a reason. There's also haters out there. You'll have some of those in your life. You probably heard of the drink Gatorade. I call it haterade. There's so much haterade out there. Don't drink it, okay? Just go for what you want to do in your life. I like to share my story as more of a training because you're going to go through some parts of my journey. Everybody's journey is different, but there's going to be similarities. So some of you are joining network marketing and you're not broke. You have money, you have a good job, but maybe you're time poor, right? You want to be with your kids more. You want to be with your husband or your wife more. You want to live life, travel, live the good life. Or maybe you want to contribute and give back. You want to start a nonprofit organization, or you want to help your local community or your local church. And maybe you can't do that with a traditional job. So everybody's going to kind of start somewhere, and it's going to be different for everybody. But what I've just learned is the number one thing I want you to leave this Zoom here with today is to go for it, to really go for it and your dreams and your goals. Okay. You have to have undeniable belief in what you want to do. Okay. You have to have a why. I tell a lot of my team members that your why has to be so strong that when someone asks you, why are you doing the business, that you almost have to hold back the tears of explaining why you're doing the business. Now, I know that's deep, and I know this is the first time we're getting to meet each other, so I don't want to get too wishy and mushy with you guys, okay? But it really has to be that strong because you know what? You'll quit. I mean, you'll just flat out quit. There's too many negative people in the world. There's too much imperfection. There's too many people that want to, unfortunately, knock you down. And there's just too mmany forces in the universe that are set up to kind of push you away from your goals. Look, it's on purpose. If it was easy, everybody would be successful. I mean, what would the journey of life be if you were born and, you're 1 year old and all of a sudden you're like the best network marketer in the world at 1 year old. You could talk fluent English at 1 year old, and you know how to pitch someone on Seacret at 1 year old, and you were a diamond at 2 years old, and you were a Crown Royale by the time you were 5 years old. I mean, life probably wouldn't be exciting, right? So there's got to be obstacles, okay? Because in order for you to want to achieve something more or be successful, there's got to be obstacles. And so they're gonna come your way. So how do you get over the objections? And how do you get through the obstacles? It's simply by focusing on your dreams and your goals, okay? And I'm giving you that passionate dream, that big one in your life. I call that your definite chief aim or your definite purpose. That's the one that'll make you cry, okay? But I'm here to tell you that you're gonna need a lot smaller goals than that to make it day to day. So I teach my team to, have a 1-year goal that you break down into monthly goals, and take that monthly goal and break it down into weekly goals, and then break it down to a daily method of operation. We call it high payoff activities, okay? And actually train on this, probably one of the most common things that I train on, because I was that guy, and I know I'm gonna relate to a lot of you here today. On New Year's Eve, I'm sure everybody likes to have New Year's Eve parties, right? Everybody just woke up right now. They're like, oh, we're having a party, right? So on New Year's Eve, we all, at the stroke of midnight around the world, it doesn't matter what culture, what language, what religion, it doesn't matter what we believe, we all are toasting something in some culture to the new year, okay? And here in America, we toast that champagne, and all Americans watch the Big Apple ball drop in New York City, and yay, it's the new year. And I found myself, like a lot of people in the world, every year saying the same thing. This year, I'm going to get out of debt. How many of you have done that? Okay. Only to say it again next year with the same glass of champagne, right? You might have corked the same bottle of champagne and reopened it. Okay. It's like Groundhog Day. It's so redundant. This year, I'm going to get healthy. This year, I'm going to make more money. This year, I'm going to spend more time with my kids. What most people do is this year never comes, because it's at the stroke of midnight. Maybe you drink too much of that champagne. You forget what you talked about the night before by the morning, and you wait till next year to do it again, right? And so you've got to have these goals. This is the number one thing I can really convey to you here today, that the training you're going to get this weekend, the knowledge you're going to get about Seacret, the journey you're going to go on with us, and the improvement that you're going to have in your life, looking better, feeling better, and experiencing the world. Those things are all great, but to get through, really to make it big here, and whatever that is for you, you've got to have the why. You've got to have that deep desire. And so hopefully after this Zoom today, and I don't know what time it is there, but maybe it's tonight in non-productive hours, take out a piece of paper and reset your goals. I make my team reset their goals all the time. I drive them crazy. Whenever I have a team member that's plateaued, I say, take out a piece of paper. They think they're going to get some genius information from me. I say, all right, let's talk about your goals. Some of them get mad at me. Oh, Mark, it's the same thing you always do. I'm like, well, you obviously don't believe in them. You don't believe in them because you wouldn't be plateaued. It's okay to plateau for a little bit, but not forever. You wouldn't be having these things that happen in your mind where you want to quit because you don't believe in your goals enough. And so these are the number one things that got Tammy and I, when I talk about in the beginning of our story of being kind of down and broke and not paying the rent, and definitely dealt with depression, going through that, especially when you have a baby at home, dealing with all those things. How do you make it out of that? Look, we're all people of some type of faith, and it's great because we have people from all around the world here. It doesn't matter what religion you are, and it doesn't matter the style in which you practice your faith. Here's the one thing I know about faith is you have to believe that the possibilities are possible for you, okay? And you need to relate to that, to your own religion and your own faith, okay? You have to believe that the possibilities are possible for you. In my deepest, darkest moments of wanting to quit, somehow faith overpowers that. And I somehow had this crazy idea that I could make it. I can't explain it. It's something inside. And some people sometimes they, Mark, how do you not quit? I'm like, well, I quit, but I quit at like 11 o'clock at night. And then when I wake up in the morning, I forget that I quit and I start over again. So you can quit 100 times, but you just have to start over 101. That's the rule, okay? So don't think that leaders don't quit. They don't quit permanently. That's why they're called leaders. They quit for a moment in time. And when you get stronger and you read more books and you go to more seminars and you get around more powerful people that instill personal development in you, those moments don't come as often. And when they do come, they don't last as long. I tell people I used to be able to be taken down by a mosquito. I'd have a mosquito bite me. That would be someone in the business telling me it didn't work, or a friend quitting on me, or getting an objection. And that mosquito would sting me, man. I'd fall to the ground like I got bit by a cobra, okay? But now you can shoot me with an arrow right in the heart. I just break it off and keep going, right? But that's years of believing in my goals and understanding and really realizing like, wow, if you really believe in yourself, and if you really believe in your goals and you really believe where you're going, you really will make it. Now, some people are sprinters. I know we got them on here, superstars. I hate superstars, okay? Because I wasn't a superstar. Superstars are these guys and gals, they get in, they put their running shoes on, they take a drink of the Seacret juice, boom, they're gone, right? They go right to the top. That is not my story. My story is that story in Seacret, but that's 20 years of doing the business. So when you hear someone's story like, oh, Blue Diamond in 2 months, please, I almost wish people don't say that sometimes. Like, I kind of like, oh, I don't really want to tell, because that's 20 years of experience. So if you're new, don't compare yourself to a Blue Diamond in a couple of months. That's not normal. And that's someone that has done all the things we talk about, read the books, gone to Accelerate, gone to seminars, studied, read the books, fell down, make some mistakes, get back up, read some more books, go to your upline. Please help me. What am I doing wrong? It's a million mistakes to get there. Okay. But I can just tell you, if you believe the possibilities are possible for you, they really will be possible. Okay. So tonight, before you go to sleep, write down these goals. Why is that? What does that have to do with this weekend? Okay. Just everything. It just has everything to do with this weekend. Okay. Because this weekend for some of you is a reboot. Okay. It's a restart. Okay. It's a restart in your business. It's a restart in your life. It's a restart in your mindset. It's a restart in your spirit. It's a restart in your confidence. Okay. For others, this is your first one, right? There's nothing better than your first experience like this. And you will get an incredible experience. This past weekend, my wife and I sat for 2 straight days. The only time I broke away from the event was to go to my son's baseball game. I had a headset in and people were trying to talk to me in the stands. And I'm like, what? Huh? What? And some of them even made fun of me. I told them I had a convention. Some of the same dads made fun of me. Man, you're always listening to those things. Yep. And you're always working your job that you don't like. So I'm going to keep on listening to this at my son's game, because the reason I never have to miss a game is because I have a business like this, right? If I had a traditional job, I wouldn't be at that game. And so it has everything to the mindset of this weekend. I want you to cleanse yourself over the next couple of days. Some of you might want to do a juice cleanse. You want to go all in, okay? But more of a mental cleanse. Get it all out. Get your challenges out. Write them on paper. If you got luggage right now, and I'm not talking about Gucci luggage, okay? I'm talking about that yucky luggage. It's got duct tape on it. It's been all scraped up. Maybe the zippers don't work anymore. You got that luggage in your life. And what I'm attribute that to is challenges, things that are holding you back, things that are holding you down. Okay, what I want you to do, write those things down on a piece of paper, on a separate piece of paper. Don't let that get near your goals, for sure. Write it on a separate piece of paper. Write it all down. I don't like my neighbor. My product didn't come on time. That happens. That's frustrating. Okay. I'm not where I want to be in my business, or I'm lacking some self-confidence, things that you mentally might be going to. Write it all down, right? Read it. And then I want you to roll it up in a ball like this and throw it in the trash. Okay. And I'm really serious. I've done this with my team where I ask them all to write down the top 10 things that are holding them back. And I read them out loud, not by name, so nobody knows whose junk it is. And then I rip it up in front of them, piece by piece by piece, and throw it in the trash, okay? It's not that the problems aren't real. It's that sometimes we got to mentally cleanse, because when we have an opportunity to start over, that's what's awesome about life. It's our God-given right to start over whenever we want to. We can draw our line in the sand and say, I'm new today, I'm new today, I'm new today. So when I see someone that really feels like, well, I'm a failure, like, man, it hurts so much, because like you only knew the secret is that actually you only failed in the moment of time, and you can be new tomorrow. And no, it doesn't matter what people say, right? And so go into this weekend cleansing yourself of whatever holding you back and rewriting your goals, okay? Go on this journey here with Seacret with us. We have a moment in time where we're bringing an incredibly, I know some of you have never sold products before. I'm a product guy. I went from a service company. So I know some of you were in a service company where there was no physical product. I did that for 11 years. Then I co-founded a skincare company. It was like the polar opposite of selling a service. And it was really difficult to get into that mindset, okay? We'll show you how to do all of that. But we have we're in a moment in time that, first of all, the Seacret, the minerals from the Dead Sea, in my opinion, in 20 years is probably the best story in all of network marketing. It's so under-marketed. Now, we've seen Seacret here in America at our malls and our luxury stores. It's a luxury brand in America. Now, obviously, we've closed all that down, and it's now network marketing, which is great for us. But I mean, the story of the Dead Sea, and you guys are in that, some of you are in that area of the world. I've never been there. I just cannot wait to get there. I mean, it's Google proof. What I mean by that, it's not some story that a networker made up and created, and two buddies at home got a shaker bottle together and made their own ingredients and said, hey, we're this new network marketing company, because there's a lot of that junk out there, right? This is the Dead Sea. I mean, it goes all the way back to Cleopatra days, right? I mean, millions of people a year go to the Dead Sea, and some of you have been to the Dead Sea, and I know Eversini has talked about that. I mean, it's an incredible story. And to have L'Oreal, one of the #1 luxury brands out there, as our manufacturer, combined with the uniqueness of the Dead Sea, I mean, this is a skincare dream. Whether you're into skincare or not, because I know you're going to pick what you want to sell, it's a skincare dream. And it's the perfect offering from price point to selection, right? Then you have plant-based nutrition. Now, I know that's not everywhere in the world, but you have to have a vision of, you are pioneers. When you go into Accelerate this weekend, pioneers, here's the difference with a pioneer. You're going to have to deal with some things that other people don't have to deal with, right? You're going to deal with some bumps in the road. You're going to probably deal with delayed shipping. I know your shipping is more expensive right now because we're setting up the manufacturing, the distribution points in the warehouse in all of your area of the world, right? So my shipping comes faster. Yours probably is a little slower depending what country you are. That's a pioneer. I've got teams all over the world. Some of my teams, they're so far away from a shipping distribution. They're like, Mark, what do we do? What you do is you're a pioneer. You do everything you can. You're going to learn. You're going to set up your team. You're going to cast the vision. You're going to recruit. You're going to recruit because you want to build an army of secret agents for when all the things happen in your country and your region that fall into the place. You don't want to be the one that waited. Right? So right now we can go lightning fast with Club Seacret, lightning fast. It's a virtual product, but that's the doorway that can open up to those other products along the way. Now, some people are going to, they'll look good, feel good, and experience the world. Some people are just going to feel good, right? They just want to sell nutrition. Some people say, I'm a skincare guru. And some people say, man, I'm a travel buff and I just want to travel. I'm all about the Club Seacret. And then some people are going to do a little bit of all of it. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. That's the offering. You have options. In different areas of the world, people will pull different things from the product offering, okay? The key is knowing as a pioneer that this weekend that we're really launching. I really see this weekend more, and I know it's pre-launch, but launching in the mindset, you want to go in there like you've never done this before. And for those of you that have been around 5, 10, 15 years in the industry, and for those of you that have been around for a couple of weeks, for a couple of months, start over, okay? Start over. This has been the dress rehearsal. That's all it's been. It's the dress rehearsal. Okay. And it isn't necessarily, it's a pretty dress rehearsal. It's just getting ready. This weekend is where you want to be in a mindset where you already believe in your dreams and goals more than you've ever had. If there's one thing when we end the Zoom, I want you to say is, you know what? That guy talks a little bit too fast. He has a funny American accent. He's a little cuckoo, but he's right. I got dreams that I forgot about. I got whys that are important to me that I haven't written down in a while, okay? And so that's the key to going into an event this weekend. And these events are amazing. And I'm going to tell you that here's how it works. You have to have incredible belief to do the activity. See, some of you might be result driven, where you're like, where are my results? Where are my results? Where are my recruits? Where are my sales, right? Results driven. You don't ever want to be results driven. A lot of leaders will drive results, but it's frustrating because results never come fast enough. You'll get the result you desire and then you'll want more, okay? The other thing is you only focus on result. You miss the other ingredients in that apple pie that get you to the results. Belief is the #1 ingredient, okay, in the success cycle. Belief. Why? Because when you have a high belief in your company, your comp plan, your products, your upline, your community, and in yourself, you'll do what? You'll do the activity, right? When you do the activity, if you do the activity long enough because you believe in yourself and you believe what you're doing, the more activity, what happens? The more results. See, results comes later. There's 2 other steps before results. There's belief, there's activity, and then there's results. So when you get these results, what happens? It naturally increases your belief. So now you have a higher belief. What happens? Now you do more activity. Now you do more activity. What happens? You have better results. More results, bigger belief, more activity, more results, higher belief. That is literally the secret to success in any area of life. I mean, if it's a health goal, if it's a marriage goal, if it's a business goal, if it's a goal here, launching Seacret. And that's why I wanted to spend the whole time just talking about your why, your goals, and going into the event this weekend. I'll end with this. I think this system we have, I'm a total systems guy. I'm totally bought into a worldwide evolving and revolving system. You really, in this business, you build from event to event to event to event. For 20 years, I have literally built from event to event to event to event. I've never missed an event, okay? Ever, never missed an event. Now I'm talking the big events, right? Of course, you have something come up in your life and you can't make a weekly event. I get that. This is not the military in that aspect, okay? But I've done a monthly event for 20 straight years. If I have missed my monthly event in 20 years, it's because I was in another country on vacation. And if there was an event in that country, even if I was on a vacation, I'd shoot over to that event, maybe be a trainer, maybe a participant, and go right back to my vacation. Now, I've even been mocked by that from some of those same friends we've talked about. Man, you've every single month for 20 years. Think about this. People will work a job and go to work every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week for their entire life, but they'll make fun of a network marketer that goes to a monthly event. Just think about that for a second, right? Don't listen to what they say. This is our system, okay? You're doing our system because you want to get out of the regular system, which is go to work, get paid, go to work, get paid, don't go to work, you don't get paid. Network marketing is different. You work, you make a little bit up front, you work, you start to make a little bit more. And at some point, you start making more money from the work you're not doing anymore that you did before. That's called leverage, right? When you flip you flip that board into your favor, okay? And so the event this weekend, I could just experience it myself. I'm on fire from it. And I want you to just sit there this weekend. You've got to, even if you have experience, you have to learn the pitch, right? You have to learn Seacret. You have to learn how do you take travel and skincare and nutrition and how the heck do you talk about those things together? And I think it's really important to get that vibe and get that music down this weekend with Mark Aceta and the other trainers. It's going to be a blow away event. And I would encourage you to even build your team, okay? Right now, even bigger. Can you recruit 2 more people on your team? Can you recruit 5 more people on your team? Can you get 10 more people in your group that can be at that event virtually with you this weekend? Because coming out of that event this weekend, here's one thing I can guarantee. People have asked me this my whole career. Mark, what's the most important event I should go to? Here's my answer. The one you miss. The one you miss is going to be the most important event you should have went to. I know that's I'm a little tricky sometimes, right? Why? Because how many of you leaders have been at an event in network marketing and someone on your team didn't come and their name pops in your head because the speaker says something. You go, oh, Mary Jones. Oh my goodness, Mary Jones needed to hear that. And then another speaker comes on stage. You go, oh, Jeff Smith. Oh my goodness, why wasn't Jeff here? And you're texting them, oh my goodness, you should have been here. Because you never know when your season is. You never know when someone is going to say something from that stage that's a breakthrough moment for you. I've had breakthrough moments I have a journal of most of my breakthrough moments. You know when they came? At events. And it wasn't what I expected, and it wasn't from who I expected, and it wasn't what I expected. It was somebody somewhere said something. It might have had nothing to do with my breakthrough. It's the funniest thing ever. And I go, oh my goodness, I just had a breakthrough. I got to write that down. I need to take my goals serious. I need to take my why serious. What am I doing? I need to start my business over. So all I can tell you is just never, ever, ever, ever miss an event. Commit to that. Okay. Just commit to the event system. We do 4 major events a year. We do monthly and quarterly regionals. You do team trainings once a week. That's the system. So if you have 10 hours a week to do your business, or 20 hours a week to do your business, or 5 hours a week to do your business, schedule the time. Don't think you're not working when you attend these events. Now, you can't just attend an event, go home, and we send you money. It doesn't work like that. It's called network marketing. So you do have to do some work, okay? But don't think that, because I have team members at Prasini that tell me this. They say, Mark, but I didn't come to the event because I was signing up a prospect. This is the only time in my entire life. Don't record me, okay? I know you are recording. Take this part out. Hey, don't sign up that prospect. That's the only time I'll ever tell you that. Because that one prospect's not going to do what that weekend event could have done from you, that could have led to 10 to 20 to 30 people that you recruited, that might have led to hundreds of people on your team, or thousands of people on your team, or even new countries that joined your organization, okay? So be in the room when it's your moment. Be in the room when it's your season, and you just never, the challenge that we're all facing is we don't have a crystal ball. We can't tell you when that's going to happen. So you got to be at every event to take it in, and that light will go on. I guarantee you that those of you who've been around, you have light bulb moments where you go, aha, aha, aha. Those were all at different events at different times in your life. And here, don't make this mistake. I've had people say this to me. Well, I've already gone to a training. Going to one training is like taking one shower, okay? You probably wouldn't do that, and if you would, don't raise your hand. We don't want to know about that, okay? Going to one training is like taking one shower. It's not a one-time thing. And here's the other thing. Sometimes people will say, well, I've seen that training before. Ooh, that's a dangerous one to say. Here's the reason why. You're not the same. I've seen trainings over and over and over and over, same PowerPoint, even the same presenter, and sometimes in the same city, but I wasn't different. I'm not the same guy in that arena today as I'm going to be 3 months from now. 3 months from now, I'm going to have a totally different mindset. So that even that training, even though it's the same, it's going to hit me differently. Because I've gone up to trainers like, oh my God, you changed my life today. And like, Mark, well, it's the same thing I do every week. What was different? I'm like, well, I was different. You know, I know I've been taking notes for every week and it's the same dang training, but guess what? I was different this week. And so I'll just leave you guys with that. I encourage you guys to just get as many people as you can to sign up for Accelerate. Not only just sign up, but really take it serious. Have parties if you're allowed to in your country to get together in small groups. Be safe. We did watch parties all over America where you might have had 6 or 7 team members come over the house and watch it together. It's funner to do that if you can. Do a watch party online. Do some prizes. Do some after parties. Okay. Some calls afterwards, some circle up groups and small groups. Say, oh, wow, what did you get out of this event? Be a lower level leader, okay? It doesn't have to be just on Efrosina. She's one of the absolute top leaders in the company. It doesn't have to be just on her, okay? It can be on you as a new person with your 10 new people. Just circle up afterwards on a phone call. Oh my God, that was mind blowing. What did you get out of it? Well, what I got out of it is this. And those things really help develop people. So I look forward to working with you guys. I look forward to hopefully getting to Cyprus at some point in my career. And when we can open up the world again, I think all of us would agree that talk about selling a travel product from the beginning of the invention of the travel industry. From here in America, the invention of the airplane by the Wright brothers, there's probably never been a better time to get in the travel industry, right? And some people think we're crazy for saying that. No. That's what people, with entrepreneurs and people that recognize an opportunity, as we open up the world, the pent up demand for travel right now is bigger than it's ever been in any of our lifetimes. And we're going to be at the cusp of that with Club Seacret. And so with that, I appreciate you having me on here. Hope you guys have a great evening. I know that it's going to be a great show. And I know that you guys are working really, really hard to do big things. So Efrosini, I will throw the call back to you guys.
Thank you very much for that, Mark. Thank you for your servant leadership. And guys, as Mark said, I told you guys this call is going to be full of so many golden nuggets. So here's what I want you to do, because it's very, very important that when someone that has had so much success in the industry tells you what you need to do in order to win, one thing that I've learned from my mentor is you just basically just follow blindly, because if you want someone else's results that you've never had, the longer you follow and stay on the path of what they tell you, the quicker you can get to that level. So go to your back office right now, click on the event, book the event, and just go to your team Facebook groups. I know we've got a bunch of different countries right now on the call, and post your badge. Because here's what you want to do. You want to lead by example. And when we create a domino effect right now of everybody posting their badges that everybody's watching Accelerate this weekend, I am telling you, we're about to light up Europe on fire. Tag your upline that you've already booked the training. Leaders lead. The more you do, the more your team will do. And guys, I've recorded this call. I'm going to post it on YouTube the next. Anybody in your team that has not listened to this call, just give them a call and go, you didn't miss a call, did you? Like, what was the biggest golden nugget that you got from Mark Smith tonight? And when you speak to them, they go, oh, I missed the call. Go, listen, I'm so sorry you missed the call. There were so many golden nuggets. Go to YouTube right now. I'm going to send you guys a link and watch this call and give me a call back straight away. Mark has done a phenomenal job to show people exactly what they need to do to win. You just need to basically lead them over the finishing line. So guys, thank you for plugging in. Mark, thank you once again. And have a great night, guys, and make it happen.